One, two, 1, 2.
Good
One, two,
morning.
1, 2. Good morning. Good morning. The A team. I don't even know what to say. We getting ready to go into 2025 and we coming out of 2024 with a bang, huh?
Oh yeah.
so
Cat
um
Williams said everybody was going to be exposed.
we already getting into it. Listen, peeps. Listen to everybody that's listening to the show today. Welcome to Shoebox Talk. It's just been we have met a few times on how to address these and or bring the conversation to the people about what's going on in our community in regards to these music moguls and just I don't even know if we need to expand on just music moguls. We got CEOs, all kind of people stepping down. It's just really better than any really reality show that I've ever watched in my life. And it's not better in the sense that it's a great thing. It's just drama, and it's real life. So that being said, Shoebox Talk is back on the scene. We have been watching, taking notes, fact checking, doing what we need to do to bring the word, not the word, bring the message to the people and to get the people to get our peeps, our followings, our platform to talk, clap back at us and let us know what's going on. So, welcome to Shoebox Talk on September the 21st, 2024. We're glad to be back. Sometimes we have to take a break to regroup because it'd be too much. It goes down. It'd be a lot. So we need to come together and see how we're going to have this conversation. The conversation is always going to have to be had, and we have it. We have this platform on Shoebox Talk to get it popping. So, welcome to all y'all listening online, to all y'all following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Um, this is Shoebox Talk. Hey, y'all doing all right? I got my sidekick Darius. I appreciate you. My producer Hot Kim, always on the scene, making things look good and run smooth for us. How y'all doing?
Hey,
One time.
I'm doing well. Football season's here, and I've been working hard posting them college and NFL games every week. So,
Yeah, that's so gangster. We appreciate that. That's a big part of HubNet, online radio, and we are football fanatics. We are sports fanatics, and we also don't. Not ain't the only thing that you post there is you be posting about basketball when basketball season and everything. So, um,
yeah,
we
and I will say
especially in our community because that's our community. We got I don't know how many black quarterbacks. Like, it's I'm
we
looking at
got
that's
15.
another one. Yeah, see what I'm
We
saying?
got at least
That needs to be highlighted. And I don't know how many coaches there is. We got I don't know how many black coaches. I know DeMarco for the Texans, gangster, gangster. So,
uh, I call him Omar Epps in the Pittsburgh with Tomlin.
hmm
Uh, but I will say for those who have not looked at the list, the game of the week tomorrow is the Chargers Steelers.
that's right. Oh, that's another
The
black
battle
coach.
of the running game, yeah, that's gonna be a good one. And the late game I wanted to put as a game of the week was the Ravens Cowboys, but I put that as that's a must win game for both teams. So
Mm,
Lamar Jackson in town in Dallas, he's gonna put on the show tomorrow. Just remember that.
right, 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 right. Well, we're keeping up. We watching football. We post. We have conversations about that as well. Today we talking about music moguls and hip hop, and
Yeah.
it just so happens to be the black music moguls that is taking a hit, and it just seems like I will go on record by saying that, and nobody can dispute this, that from R. Kelly to now Sean Puffy Combs, I like to call him by his government name. I'm just not real good with the Diddy, the Diddy stuff, but uh, he and now Jay Z, all these black dudes, all these music moguls that we watch. This is our generation, y'all. My age group and up. We watch because they're our age, if not a few years older. We watch these dudes come up from nothing to something, and they made a big mark in hip hop, regardless of all the craziness that's going on. I was listening. They was for whatever reason on my music on my Apple. music. They was playing all of Sean Puffy. I'm thinking to myself, is he not dead? Is he? What is this? Oh, he just had a mark they've left for the legacy in hip hop. I don't you, regardless of what your freaky promiscuous whatever it is you got going on music wise, um, yeah, these guys have made a mark on hip hop, and it will and long after they're gone, it will always be a part of our history. So that being said, all this other stuff, y'all, where we gonna start at? Because right now, Sean Puffy Combs is in jail, right? He is
Yeah, as we speak.
right, in New York, right? He came back to New York, then turned himself in, as I understand it, and he denied bail twice. Now let's just start there, because I just want to say that I feel like, as my feeling, feel like this is a bit the conversations that I've been having, and everybody wanted, in my inbox, Janet, what you think? What you think? What you think? I feel like that could have been left at his crib, right? Now, I say that to say this: if we can have a a felon running around here, getting the country all in an uproar with a bunch of lies, and they have money. They out on the golf course. They out flying on in a private jets and all of that. A felon is getting ready to go to trial himself. I feel like that what Sean Puffy Combs could have been released on bail. He put up a lot of money, right, to get himself free so that he can fight his case. So I feel like, why couldn't he be granted bail, regardless of past situations, cases, and all that kind of stuff? Each case is different. R. Kelly, whoever you want to put up there, Weinstein, or whatever the other dude is in jail. Listen, I feel like he could have been, at the very least, he could have been confined to his crib, whatever. Why he can't? He put up $50 million to be released, and not once but twice he's been. Can we start there? Like, why couldn't he be released on bail?
Darius, you want to go? Because I'm going to be a little
Well,
long-winded on this one.
here's the breakdown. I think I looked on TMZ where they got he got arrested at a hotel in New York.
Mhm.
Now I think possibly he was a flight risk. Now and everything I think, and the one that did the press conference was Shine, that used to be with Diddy back in the day, and now he's working as an officer, which I didn't know that. I was a little surprised to see that, but and all the details of what the FBI found now months ago when they did this raid. That was before I think the Cassie Selman happened, and then the video came out 3 months later. Now
Okay,
with this,
okay, I'm lost, Darius. What are you talking about? Shine did a press conference here recently.
no,
Yeah.
Shine, the one that did the
I know
press
who Shine
conference this
is.
week.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did
he
it.
just did a
Okay,
press
that's the part I
conference.
missed. That Shine
Uh,
came and did a press conference on behalf of Sean Puffy Combs. I missed
no.
that.
That's not
No.
the FBI raid. What they were doing. That's what I was doing, like a recap. They found
Oh,
all the stuff which it don't need to be mentioned on here. And you know what? This was long overdue because he been ruining many people's careers. He ruined a lot of different females. So
okay. Don't
hey,
mention it.
but
Don't mention it. What don't need to be mentioned on here? Let's talk about it. What did they
the baby
find?
oil, a
Yeah.
thousand bottles of baby oil at his house. Come
Okay,
on
so
now,
okay, no, there
hey.
no, so what? I got about 500 myself. I'm going to jail. Huh? I'm going to jail. I got baby oil, lubricant, all kind of freaky stuff around here. So they gonna come bust through my door and take me to jail. So what? It's in the privacy of my own house. That ain't no excuse. How many other freaky people running around here with dude? You got dudes walking around here secretly, dressing as in heels when they get home from work and take off their suits and all that kind of stuff, putting on wigs
All
and
right.
all this kind of stuff. polishing their fingernails. So what that mean? The FBI I don't like that. What that got to do
No,
with it?
that has nothing to do with why he was denied bail. He was denied
He
bail
was flight risk.
because one, he is definitely a flight risk.
That's why I
Number
said
two, he was snatched up a whole day earlier. Remember, he then did all this stuff with his crib. He refied his house, pulled 50 million in equity out. He did all this stuff thinking that on Tuesday he would have his bail money ready. He was gonna go in, turn himself in, get arraigned, and be out by dinner time. No, they grabbed him Monday, a whole day early. Now, it's been coming out that he has been, remember, he's been circulating New York for the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
His lawyer comes out and says, oh, well, he was preparing himself. The motherfucker was sitting there reaching out to people to get at other people about don't talk to the feds. Enough's enough. How do we know that? Gene Dill came out and said it the other day. His former head of security. The one who's been doing podcasts and press conferences and interviews for the last year. Mm. He came out and this guy verified half the shit that Cassie said. Mm. So Puffy's been running around from Harlem, Central Park, New York City, Manhattan, anywhere where people he can sit and talk to go get the kite out, go get the message out, to tell witnesses to shut the fuck up. That's when they got back to the feds, they snatched his ass early. Mm-hmm. That's why the judge realistic. And number 3, he's a fucking drug addict.
Yeah.
Why would you trust a drug addict to fucking to come back to court on time? That nigga gonna get on the first thing smoking and be over there with Russell Simmons and Bally in some goddamn hut with the legs crisscross applesauce. Why you think Russell ass out there? He said, I ain't coming to fuck back there so y'all can indict me.
Where's Russell? That's a whole nother. Where's
he in fucking Bali. He out in Bali in some goddamn house made out of goddamn bamboo and shit. Mm-hmm. Because he got some shit going on criminally with the District of New York. These are the feds. When the feds tell you that you're denied bail, you're fucked. The difference between him and Donald Trump stuff was state. This is fed. Donald Trump was convicted of felonies in the state. This is fed. And it's a whole different ball game. They found goddamn AR-style rifles with the serial numbers scratched off. A drum.
Oh, wow.
This motherfucker's going around blowing up people's cars. Did you read? I've read that 14-page indictment 5 times because I know this coming week I'm going to be talking about this topic, so I wanted to be well informed. It's not just being nasty. And I saw that Faison Love, or whatever the fuck his name is, Big Perm, Big Worm. Yeah. He's a fucking idiot. This is the second video he came out, and everybody with intelligence had to call him a fucking idiot. Now, it's not about being nasty. It's not about having lube. It's not about having baby oil. The baby oil is evidence that he is engaging in these activities. He's also being charged with interstate prostitution, meaning he's hiring male prostitutes from way down yonder or way over there, and he's flying them in on his dime. That's when the feds kick in. If he was in Brooklyn hiring prostitutes from the Bronx or Staten Island, it wouldn't be a federal case. But he's transferring people over to have sex on video camera, right, with women who are being held against their will or drugged up. So it's not about being nasty. Freak-offs, listen, freak-offs been happening forever. I've been to a few, even through a few. All right? They ain't nothing new. Freak-offs is just a nigga term for orgy. That's it. But when you have women who are so drugged out of their fucking mind, and if they disobey, you beat their ass or you blackmail them, and you're telling them, I'm going to ruin your career and I'm going to let this tape leak out, that's when it's a crime. This is why he should not be out on bail. If this was our sisters, I see a lot of Diddy sympathizers. If this was your mom, your sister, grandmom, auntie, or cousin in them, you wouldn't be feeling so fucking guilty. I mean, you wouldn't feel so sorry for this piece of shit. And I don't buy this whole suicide watch because I have been where he's at right now. All right, he's in the metropolitan, the MDC, Brooklyn. I did 11 months in that motherfucker until they moved my ass back to Philly. He in there, his lawyers coming out every day. Oh, the conditions. Can we get him transferred over to Jersey? That's not how the feds work. This ain't the state. The Bureau of Prisons sends you where they want to go, where they want you to go. Y'all better enjoy his ass and go visit him now while you can, because they're going to get in the feds. They give you what they call diesel therapy, where he's in Brooklyn today, and in 6 weeks, or it could be tomorrow, he'll wake up in fucking Kansas somewhere.
So,
or he'd be up in that prison in PA, carved on the side of a fucking mountain. This is dead ass. This is dead ass. That's what they do until they find you a bed to sit you. He is fighting his case from the inside. That's the end of it.
Okay, so you believe, which I don't believe, that if Puffy Combs had Sean Combs had gotten out, he was getting his house, his money together, so he could put up money, get his finances right, so he could fight the case, that he was gonna get on his private jet and bounce?
He can get on anybody's private jet and bounce because he's Diddy and he has a large amount of cash on hand. Right. No, you don't let no nigga like that out. No. I don't give a fuck if he white, black, green, or purple. Don't let these motherfuckers out when they're walking around with ARs, drums, and it's documented that he put a gun to a motherfucker and go break in another motherfucking house. He's out there in the streets. There's a dude who just did a podcast on Wednesday saying he got several phone calls from niggas on the street who talked to Puff that said, yo, stop talking so much. Cassie said he intimidated witnesses. Little Rod's, the feds went to Little Rod earlier this year and said, yo, hold up on your lawsuit because we in motion. He said, cool. In his indictment, he said that Diddy would go intimidate people or pay people off not to talk. That's why he's getting hit with obstruction of justice. When you get hit with obstruction of justice, you don't get bail. Not in the feds. The state, maybe. Not in the feds.
So who are these people that allegedly he's going to tell not to speak? What are they going to speak? What is it that he don't want them to speak about?
Former employees, associates, people who worked at hotels, people who witnessed everything. They took over 100 devices from him. That's phones, that's tablets, that's laptops, there's desktops, there's iPads and whatever. Little Rod says in his lawsuit that Diddy had this thing where he said, no matter what, you keep the cameras rolling, even when we're not in the studio. And Little Rod said he's witnessed a whole bunch of shit. And Diddy would tell people, don't say a fucking word or this video going to get out and you're going to look stupid too. Because if I go down, you go down. Why do you think people are running that scene from New Jack City where Wesley Snipes is on the stand and he throws everybody under the bus, and they put Diddy face on it? Because this is where it opens up, and there's a misnomer out there on the internet that says the freak offs is going to indict a lot of Hollywood and celebrities, and no, that's not what he was doing at the freak offs. The freak offs was for one or two women to be drugged out of their mind and to be gangbanged on camera as violently and aggressively as possible while he direct traffic. Or he would have it where it streams directly to his phone or his device, where no matter where he's at in the world, he can be watching it from there while he masturbates. No, you're not going to have Ben Affleck and J-Lo on a fuck or Jay-Z on a freak off. No. Did he engage with gay sex and shit like that and bisexuality with men? Yes. Did he hold it against men and blackmail them to keep it quiet? Yes. That's completely separate. This is not an Epstein situation. A lot of people are trying to tie it to Epstein, but you know, Epstein was different. Diddy's
Well,
situation is different.
right, and so was R. Kelly's. So
Well,
this
the art,
the part that is going to get that I mean, it's just so much. The part about the parties that the CEOs and politicians and all these is supposed to have been at these parties. And
yes,
they were a part of the freak offs as well.
no, the parties. When you go, when you hear a lot of the folks, I know somebody who's been to a Diddy party. He was signed to Bad Boy. Yeah, they party, they drink, they have a good time. And the reason why Hollywood goes there is because it's him. Diddy was him.
Hmm.
He wasn't just a rap producer and mogul. He was an entertainment mogul. He had multiple contracts with Viacom and stuff like that. Everybody wanted to be seen at a Diddy party. But you don't want to be around for the Diddy after party. That's the shit. That's when, okay, it's 2 o'clock. Let me get in my limo or get the fuck out of Dodge, because this is where the weirdo shit happens. Where he may see a brother and brother wake up with his ass cheeks in the air because he done took a sip out of the wrong cup. That's at 4 o'clock in the morning. The freak offs is something different. That was for women to get gangbanged. That is not for Hollywood. That's the problem. We're not doing enough reading. We're listening to the wrong people.
Well, right, and
It's
people just repeating stuff that they assume is happening.
exactly,
And
exactly, because there's Diddy doing Diddy with his bisexual activities, and then there's the freak offs that he's doing with these drugged up, sometimes abducted women who he won't let leave. And when they get out of pocket, he clocked the shit out of them, and he makes them stay in hotel rooms until they're healed up. So that black eye, you ain't leaving this hotel room for 2 weeks or whatever. I'll get you wherever you need. Order whatever you want. I got a manservant to come run back and forth. And then he had a special team who had coming in, cleaning up all the lube out of the room, straightening up. You didn't have to worry about housekeeping services or the places that Diddy controlled and Diddy would lease out, because he had his own cleanup crew. Those are the people these are the people that they're worried about him getting to.
okay, gotcha. Like, who is it
Just
that?
just
But
just think,
you doing a
Cassie.
job. You going to clean up, and what? Okay, I went and
Well,
cleaned up some shit that Diddy paid me for. What's the problem? I didn't
well,
see what was going on,
it's
but
but that's not how criminal investigations work. They tie everything together. You get the guy that made the phone calls to organize the shit. Then you get the person who is victimized, and then you get the cleanup crew. That way you can tell the whole story. Cassie said that she was forced to engage in multiple men while her period was on. She
oh,
was
Wow.
she was literally throated until she gagged and threw up. He had his own personal cleanup crew that worked for him. That's why they're doing everything but saying this is a Rico. And guess what? This is a fucking Rico. This ain't as bad as young thug. Young thug shit is crazy. But this is a Rico without them saying it's a Rico, because when you read the indictment, it keeps saying criminal enterprise.
that's right.
And they say it
Mhm.
multiple times throughout the indictment. This motherfucker's going away. It's
Yeah,
too
it's
many,
just a matter
and
of
and, and,
time.
I, and the other side of it is his star witnesses. His star witness is Cassie. That's their star witness.
Yeah, when she came forward with her case, he messed up not paying her the first long time ago. If she came forward, that opened up a whole. That's when all this stuff started really start coming to the light.
Well, see,
Yeah.
here's the other thing behind the scenes. This is why voting and politics is so important, because there's a political component to this. When New York passed that law that extends the statute of limitations of when you can actually go after somebody, it's a two-way street. In New York, you get assaulted in 2000. let's say 15. After 7, 8 years, statute of limitations runs out. You can't file a complaint and you can't sue them because it ran out. So the politicians in New York passed the law to where it is super extended, and a lot of other democratically run with Democratic governor states doing the same thing.
Mhm.
So what happens is, guess what? You are going to get investigated and sued because of that new law. That's why when you read the indictment, it says it started in 2008. No,
Right.
niggas, that's when y'all, that's as far as y'all can go because you can't get anybody to tell anything before that.
Right. Legally.
And
Mhm.
and the federal dude who's in charge of this case, he did several press conferences. He said this is just the beginning.
That black dude. That black dude.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
who's the attorney general? Who is he?
No, he's not the attorney general. He's the general. He's the attorney that's assigned to this case.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Okay.
like for instance, in the city, it's a DA. In the state, is someone from the attorney general's office. In the feds, it is a federal district attorney.
Right. Okay.
Well, not a district, it's a federal attorney or whatever. So, and yeah, I
But the,
mean,
but the attorney general oversees all of that.
no, the attorney general is, well, I'm sorry, yes, the attorney general, Merrick Garland, he is in charge of all criminal investigations over everybody in the federal landscape.
Right.
Now, since this is happening in the District of New York, which is also the folks who are going after Trump, this is not going to be under the black dude who works for the state of who got the convictions. So it's a little confusing. Think state versus federal. He's in the state of New York for federal charges. Pig Diddy. That's why they have him in MDC Brooklyn, because that is like a detention center. This is
So
where you
so
go.
this is this. Wait, one second. What confused me is when it. What? Why is it? Did uh all this happen in New York? Why did he go back to New York? Why didn't get him in Florida? Where's his crib at? They seized. That wasn't in New York.
No, they went the feds, because they have jurisdiction over all 50 states.
Yeah.
The feds went and they had a search warrant, not an arrest warrant. There was a lot of people that lied on the internet. So
Oh, it's a lot of liars on the internet. Yeah. Just
remember
making up
back in
shit.
March.
Mhm.
Remember back in March, they hit 2 houses at the same damn time.
Right.
And then when Diddy left when he knew he had there was no arrest. This was a search warrant. They were looking for electronic devices. They were looking for videos, CDs, DVDs, cameras, evidence of the stuff that they wanted to verify that people told them. They've been talking to people. Feds don't indict without something called a grand jury. Your grand jury is a group of niggas, a group of people who sit there and hears evidence, hears snitches and witnesses, and they say, yup, this is enough for this person to be indicted. They do a vote, the judge signs off on it and says
And
the
they go.
indictment is approved.
Yeah.
Here's the second thing I'm gonna sign, go bring him in.
Right. That's true.
Now, the other thing that most people don't know is a case like this, you get what you call a target letter, right?
Hmm.
Especially for something this big, you get an FBI agent knocks on your door. He issues you a letter. I mean, you've been served. You read it, and it says, "Dear Janet Jackson, you are a target of a federal investigation. Please, your attorney has been notified. Please be available for any questions, comments." I remember this by heart because I received one before in 2007. So I know what he's going through somewhat. When it start getting weird, I don't know nothing about that shit.
Mhm.
But in terms of the methodology and how they move, so he got that letter. That's why he was getting himself together.
Hmm.
That's why he would start trying to become liquid. He's a billionaire. He's never been a billionaire.
Mm-mm.
His worth was a half a billion. His potential worth was a billion in the next 10 years. Those are guesstimates based off of his potential, his brand, and what kind of contracts is available to him. He didn't have $1 billion to his name. He would have to sell his ass and everything tied to it to come up with that kind of money. That's why he had to do what he had to do with his house. Then he's putting up his house in LA up for sale. When you see millionaires and billionaires do that, it's because they're trying to become liquid. That means that I need a bunch of cash to get some shit done.
Right, 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 right. A
So
bunch.
yeah, that's
So
what that's
so
about.
so so now that being said, so with this being, is there some stuff that we that's going to be coming down the pipes that we don't know of yet in regards to all of these CEOs we stepping down?
Well, those are not related. Those
All
are
these
not related.
CEOs?
No, because it ain't just the CEOs of music. It's the CEOs of fashion. The look, CEO of Nike stepped down.
Right, I saw that,
It's
but it could it
yeah,
be that the fact that they're, I mean, all at the same time in one week, that they've been
yes.
notified that they are on videotape doing some stuff at these parties?
No, they have nothing to do with Diddy. What you got to look at the calendar. What quarter are we in?
I don't
Right,
know.
it's the last quarter. You send the herd at the last quarter. That's why there's been a bunch of layoffs. Right, Bob Iger, the head of Disney, they made this man retired. He ain't picked his goddamn successor. Successor was in there for 1 year, and they begged that motherfucker. They fired him and made Bob Iger come back. So now Bob Iger said, "Okay, I'm about to leave. I'm done." He's going to finish up, and he's already announced that he's leaving. CEOs tend to leave at the last quarter because it helps with your financial predictions to take that off your ledger. That's all it is. Everything ain't about damn Diddy. The internet will be interneting. People who don't know nothing about business will always be in business. That's all.
Right. And everybody, so this what is what does this all have to do with um the other, back to hip hop, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Meek Mills? How are they involved?
I don't see how Jay Z is involved at all. Other than the other, you know who's putting Jay Z involvement in it? The internet,
Right.
and the internet are some of the
Just
dumbest
like
people
they
you're
were
ever going to
saying the
meet in your
same.
life.
Yep, just dumb people. Just like they were saying, they was hollering Sean Puffy Combs when R. Kelly was in. R. Kelly about to give up Sean Puffy Combs. I'm like, oh, y'all just on you. That's why YouTube, they keep it going, and people, they got a lot of view. People believe that stuff.
Yeah, because it ain't just YouTube. It's also it's also TikTok has become worse than YouTube because it's more people on there doing that dumb shit.
Having shows, getting paid for all these people sitting up making up all these stories and just keeping the drama going. Keeping this. There's been a couple times I was like, wait, what? So now they show videos of Meek Mills is also listed in the indictment, in not the indictment, in the what you call it, about being having being with this dude.
No, what it is again. This is the internet. They're saying Meat Mills is into funny business with Diddy. He's not a part of the free calls. They're saying that because he hangs out with Diddy, he must be gay. Because there's some videos of him and Diddy being a little too friendly, a little too playful, he must be gay. It's stupidity. It's absolute stupidity. It's men who with nothing else better to do, and women who are being typical messy salon talking heifers. Just messy. You don't know if he sucked a dick or not, shut the fuck up.
Don't
Show me
nobody
the
know on social
evidence.
media.
You don't
Because if
know. And,
if you
and
did know, Sean Puffy Combs would be knocking at your door.
yeah.
Jaguar, right? With her throwed off self?
But
Yeah.
that's different. Because
No, it's not.
everything nope, here's the
Yeah,
difference.
she has straight up mental health issues.
Yes, she does, and she openly admits it, and she takes her meds. But let me tell you this: Y'all, when you look past the crazy, her predictions has been on point, and they won.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I disagree. I
Then
disagree.
you ain't
Yeah,
listening. I
drop
don't
it,
know
I'm
because
Mr.
listening.
Jaguar
I'm
White.
listening to her.
let, let,
The stuff that she
let
be
me just say
saying
this.
is outlandish.
Let me say
Outlandish. I don't
this.
believe it. I don't believe it. And what she's
Let
saying,
me
other people been saying. So she
let
ain't
me
saying
say
nothing that other
this.
people ain't. What's so different between her and these dudes on the internet saying the same thing? She ain't been the
Because the
only one
dude
saying stuff. That bodyguard and stuff
because
like that. I'd rather
be,
believe him than believe her.
but here's the part that you're not listening to. The things that you hear the bodyguard say, another thing the bodyguard's saying is, yeah, she's right about that. I was there. How the fuck did she hear about it? Now, her and Kim Porter were good friends, right? She was a part of their little squad, their little clique. I recall during the pandemic her being interviewed and her talking about Diddy, and everybody said the same thing. It's outlandish. Jaguar's bugging. Her getting the Twitter beefs, the Twitter arguments. She was saying, okay, it's okay. Because when that nigga getting hauled off the jail, come back to me. You know what I saw on the internet all week? Everybody and their mama trying to book her for interviews. People were
Uh-huh.
calling her up. People were calling her up on FaceTime and on Instagram Live and her goddamn the hair wrap and bonnet and shit with them all crooked. She's like, "Damn, you waking me up for this bullshit? I've been telling y'all this shit for the last 4 years." She's like, "Cause I know the people who are around them talk to me."
No, I don't believe that. She has Jaguar is a hater, and she has always been salty because she didn't her
No,
career didn't turn out the way it
No,
turned out. Number
this
one,
is
I
this
know
that's
is
she's
what
from
you're wrong on
Philly.
that one.
I know she's from
no.
Philly. Now, I personally know a person, and I hope he's listening. I personally know a person that I've had a conversation with that was fucking with this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you that what I suspected is that this from before long before Sean Puffy called. I'm not just talking about what she's saying about Sean. She has said some outlandish, ridiculous shit about a bunch of people,
Yeah,
like a bunch of people, not just
yeah.
black people. You understand what I'm saying? And there is no proof that the shit that she's saying or anybody else, you'd be like, what? I mean, when she had
So
years ago before the pandemic, she was in her car and she was in that, she had a meltdown and was, oh my God, I was just like, what is wrong with this girl? This is when people start really going live on social media, the live, that was before the pandemic. And I'm like, this girl, Jaguar, has been around from Ja Rule to Mary J. Blige to Aaliyah. She just, the stuff that she says is not always true. Now, she might know a little something. And the fact that you sitting up all day long, first of all, Jaguar is getting booked and getting called to come talk because she developed a following. She was just on social media last night talking about some. This is her calling. She's the what she said, the gatekeeper or the save people and stuff like that. There's absolutely no way. If you sitting up booking this idiot to sit up and come talk to you, you got some problems.
see,
That's my take on it. Yeah, no,
this
she's
is
like way, but it's okay for her to do that stuff. But everybody else that, I mean, there's a whole bunch bodyguards to cleaning people to whatever. There's a whole bunch of people that can sit up and talk about Sean Puffy Combs and these
yeah,
celebrities.
yeah.
You know, she ain't
See,
doing
this is
nothing so famous that somebody
this,
the app, since especially R. Kelly with all the people he had going on around him and stuff like. Look at all the motherfuckers that came out when surviving R. Kelly, right? So she ain't
mm-hmm.
doing nothing that somebody else can't do.
That's you miss it. See, this is where we got to separate feelings from facts. We can
No,
feel how we want. Hold on,
it's not
we can.
feeling. It's facts. I've been watching this girl
We
for a long time. She got that. I don't believe nothing she says. I don't believe it.
That's
I
fine.
don't
It's
believe it.
okay. You don't have to. You don't have to because the evidence don't line up with your argument.
What she's saying
When
it's not top secret. She ain't saying
it's
nothing where
not
you're like,
about
oh my
it's
God.
not about top secret. It's about someone For instance, when we saw Cat Williams get on Shannon Sharp, the people who hated Cat Williams said the same thing. Oh, he's a drug addict. He's choked out. He's just throwing shade and hate. But how many things that he said turned out to be true? He said shit about Steve Harvey and Mark Cooper. What happened? Mark Cooper came out and said, yeah, Cat's telling the truth. He said Diddy and all the big deviants are going to get their day. 2024 is shit's going to go down. And what has been happening in 2024?
Okay, but that's not what Cat Williams said on Shannon Sharp is not something we didn't already know. We already
And
been
it's the
hearing
same.
about Buck.
And it's the same thing with Jaguar. We were here, like for instance, here in Philly, when you were attached to certain people in certain places in Philly, you heard about Bill Cosby since the fucking 90s, right? We all heard that shit, right? The people who were attached to Mary Mason, we all heard it because we were wondering why she keep defending this nigga. But when somebody came out publicly and said, there's always going to be, oh, they're just hating, and then here comes the indictment, and people go, oh shit, maybe this person knew something. It's nothing wrong when you know something, you hear something, you share, and it turns out to be true. Whether you're crazy or not, truth is truth. I heard her say something about Jill Scott like 7 fucking years ago on Blog Talk when she was getting interviewed. And she said, y'all think she's innocent? And said, wait till them sex videos and pictures and just start coming out. You see, she ain't all that. And guess what? I get on Twitter one day and I'm seeing ass and titties and pussy. Because somebody hacked their goddamn iPhone. So I get what you're saying, and that could be said about anybody who's coming out speaking what they calling the truth. We can crazy or not. Facts is facts. When you tell me that it's going to rain and then it fucking rains, that's a fact.
That's the missing.
Is that not a fact? Because I mean,
how is this person, this one person that ain't really, other than somebody paying her to come speak on their platform or whatever, or her getting a social media check? How is it that she knows about everybody's business?
It's not that she's just not afraid. She's lost everything. She don't give a fuck about repercussions. There's a lot of people that know everybody's business. The truth tellers are going to come out. The other ones are going to stay silent because they don't want to get sued. Which is also in the indictment. He would threaten to sue people. I watched goddamn Perez Hilton, little sassy ass, come out and say, well, listen, I've been hearing this shit for the last 7-8 years, and all the people who know stuff, Diddy has contacted them, tell them, you go ahead and say something, I'll sue you to the point where you're gonna end up working for me for the rest of your life. So they shut the fuck up. So it's not that she's just one person. It's hundreds and tons of people. But the dude had everybody in fear. Because guess what? So did R. Kelly. So did all these goddamn deviant motherfuckers. They had people afraid of what you're going to do with them because you have more money than them. You have access to street niggas and you have access to lawyers. And some people fear lawyers more than street niggas.
Kim, I don't believe it.
It's okay. You don't have. You stay on Little House on the Prairie, not believing shit. And we'll be over here watching. And then when it's revealed and it happens, okay, cool. Because it wasn't just her. Gene Deal said everything that she said. He confirmed the shit that she was saying. And he was Puffy's bodyguard for years. And he's out saying shit that Jaguar didn't say. And then people were coming after him, going, okay, well, why did you say that? How do we know that's facts? And then he's talking about how another dude from Harlem that was associated with them, Puffy had knocked off. And the dude who got knocked off, whole family is coming out saying, yeah, we agree. This is what we found out from the streets. Did he have something to do with it? So it's like, come on, man. Sometimes crazy people or people we call crazy, yeah, they can have some mental health issues. But if they hear some shit and they see some shit and they tell that shit, we shouldn't discard them because we don't like them. That's crazy.
But first of all, it has nothing to do with Little House on the Prairie. First of all. Second of all, it has nothing to, I don't even know the chick. I'm not saying that I dislike the person. What I'm telling you is 85, 90% of the shit that she says, and I've had conversations with a lot of other people. Nobody believe. I don't. We oh, a Little House on the Prairie or wherever you want to put it. There's a lot of people that's looking at this motherfucker like no,
And that's
regardless of what she,
fine.
regardless of what she predicts or says or whatever. You know, I don't
It,
that
it
that stuff that she says it be way over in the moon in the clouds on past Little House on the Prairie. Like I'm looking at her like, man, how do you know the stuff that she says is just too it's to say, oh, I see, I talked to the such and such that was dealing with R. Kelly or dealing with Sean Puffy Combs and his camp or whatever, and they told me this. Boom. Okay, I get it. But she takes it it be like, oh, and her pinky toe was this color, and it be that's why she got that pimple on her ass, and he hit it, stroked
yeah.
it 15. I'd be like, man, how you hell you know that?
Now that listen,
It be too much. Be
I'm
with
not
her. Or some
saying
of the stuff I listen to, and I'm like, oh yeah, I done heard that before. And then she take to put when you telling a story and you can put some details on something, it's more believable. You know what I'm saying? And so
yeah.
I noticed that her stories when she's telling it, when niggas say, well, I didn't say nigga, I'm sorry. When she said that 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 Will Smith is fucking his son. I his boot. He had to go to the hospital because his booty was toe up. Some outlet. I said,
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that one. I
what
don't think I want to
the
hear that one. Yeah,
fuck?
listen, I'm not saying that every single word. What I'm saying is when somebody is right on something, we're doing is giving her credit for being right about the stuff she was right about.
I'm
She
not giving her credit.
clearly she
I'm not giving.
clearly,
She
the
ain't
facts
said
is
nothing that somebody else. The difference between Jaguar and everybody else is because of her maybe baby. I don't know her because of her mental health or whatever the reason is. She's not afraid to say it, so that's why she
yeah,
says it. She don't care about
that's
getting sued or whatever, right?
yeah,
Or
that's
going
been
to
her
jail or
whole
whatever.
argument. Yeah.
All these other people that know stuff is like, man, I ain't got time for that. I don't got no time to be watching over my back and doing all this. And I ain't trying to make money. I'm not trying to make money from social media or being a guest speaker.
Hey, that's listen. Everybody got to do what they got to do. I ain't mad at nobody about
I
it.
don't see her
Shit.
no
That's
different than these dudes sitting up on these podcasts and on social media talking and making up stories about Jay-Z, Meek Mills, or whatever. I'm pretty sure they may have gotten, based on some information. Well, that mean, you know what? I think McMill's been, dressing like him and making all these different videos. I don't see no difference with those black dudes having those conversations than her, other than the fact
no,
that she's been around a whole lot longer.
yeah, there's not. This is what social media is. This is what being in this space is. You speak your opinions. You speak some shit you heard, some shit you know, some shit you eyewitness. You just talk. That's what this is about. This
This
is
is
people
this
are
is
talking.
and this is my last say on this. Listen, if it was like she say it is, right? If it's all this child stuff and whatever, it no categories off with her. Then why get up on social media and go sit on these platforms and talk about it instead of going to file police reports and let them know, give them some evidence of what's going on with these situations?
Because that's not what everybody into. You do what you're into.
Exactly. You do
And not
what
only
gets you
that, statute
a
of
freaking paycheck.
yeah.
I'm thinking about
And
getting
what's
on
wrong
out
with
there. I
that?
told you before, I'm about to get on out there. I'm about to start saying some stuff. I guarantee you I'll go viral. Just
Because let me
making
tell you
up stuff.
something. Let me tell you something. When this show gets monetized about our topics, people are going to say thing about us. So we're sitting here talking about some shit about people we never met in real life.
Our
But
stuff is gonna be our stuff. We're gonna be official though. We ain't gonna be sitting up there telling no lies.
I get it. But we're giving a lot of our opinions and a lot of our takes. And that
Yeah,
is nothing wrong with that. And the same critique that people have against her and the people who are doing what she's doing, they're gonna have this whole takes about us. And
like
I'm
I
here
said,
for it.
I
I'm
am
here
too.
for it.
That's
I'm
why I
gonna
said
give you
I feel. I didn't say for facts. I feel this way, and this
that's
is. And,
that's why I
I
said what I
feel
said. Those are
it's not
feelings, not
fact.
facts.
But feelings, she's in her feelings too. A lot of this
Yeah,
sitting, I feel like $1 million a day. Let me expand on this story and bring this topic back up. Or let me take this $100,000 and go talk to 50,000 people in a stadium or whatever. I feel like getting me
here's
some money.
here's
Yeah.
one more for you. Here's one more for you. The boy Hakeem from Empire. You
Hakeem,
know which one I'm
Hakeem.
talking about?
Yes, 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 yes. I
The
heard
the
about him.
the the little rapper boy from Philly based.
Yeah.
She came out and said, "Yo, he's freaked out. He spent some time over there at the Diddy house, like Usher and all the other ones. He spent time under Will Smith. He spent time around all of the weirdo crew in Hollywood.
Mhm.
You're going to see that it's some weird shit with him. And what happened this week?
What happened to
He's
him?
being bent over, getting fucked in his ass in the shower. He's all over Twitter with his legs up in the air and his asshole poked out.
Um,
He is
he's gay.
promoting. He's promoting his OnlyFans. His because remember, Jaguar said this about 2 years
About
ago.
when I heard about the little
He's,
dude, uh, when Empire was on, I heard because I remember saying, "Well, that's a damn shame," because I forgot what the topic was. It was just talking about he's playing a role of a rapper or a tough guy or whatever, but in real life
Mhm.
he's gay.
Yeah,
That's what I heard about
and
him.
the people that knew him knew that he was bisexual.
Okay.
But he was abusive, and he caught that case against his baby mama or whatever she was to him. She
Mm-hmm.
came out and said, "Yeah, he's struggling with who he is,
Mm-hmm.
and he's drug addiction and all this other bullshit. He's struggling with the fact that he's what he is."
Mm-hmm.
We go back during the pandemic when we was on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguar told her this already because she heard it from people who eyewitnessed some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes the boy. Got charged. And then here comes the girlfriend. And then now, I guess he's in his own skin. He's openly gay ball now, and he's a porn star promoting his OnlyFans.
Getting a check.
Eating, yeah, getting the check, eating glizzies. So, hey, in this space, information is the paycheck.
I want to talk about what you guys think. I know Darius had to go. I want to talk about
Mhm.
Hakim, what you think about all these black men being gay. The stories I hear about Busta Rhymes, my mouth just fell open. Like, really? One person I just wouldn't have never. But then again, I'm a fan, so I definitely don't know him. So but one of the bodyguards, one of the security guys was sitting up there talking. I was watching the interview, and from back in the day, nothing. Busta Rhymes got I don't know how many kids, married, and been married for a minute, and he's gay. I mean, he get down, he bisexual. You know, I want to know what you think about it because it just seems like what is it about? And I know we've had shows about this. It might be the next one, or we could touch on it real quick before we get out of here. It just seems like so many men, and we know about these because they're celebrities, but just men in general, your average guy, your neighbor across the street, or whatever the case may be. What is it about being all these men deciding to be gay or bisexual?
That's
What
their
do you think?
personal choice. I think that's their
But
personal
why?
choice because that's what they want to do. If you like booty, you like booty. I
But why,
that's
Hakim? Women have, but if you're a guy and you like anal sex, for example, okay, women got anal, got assholes. What's the problem? I
what
want to
in the
know
blue
why.
hell because they want some with balls hanging.
Okay, so
This is, and I get it. You're trying to learn,
I want to
so
understand from a
so I
male
understand.
perspective because I've had
I
conversations with other males, and
I
their
can't
their answer is I want to hear something different because I just can't. That don't sit right with my spirit.
I can't tell you about their desires other than what's been told to me
Mhm.
based off of me being a former sexual health educator, me having gay and bisexual friends, me being a lifestyle coach and various sexual lifestyles, the dudes who are bi and the dudes who are gay. They like what they like. It's like trying to think about all the things you like
Mhm.
and somebody asking you why you like it. Because
No,
you
that,
like
that's
to
that's
ask.
that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you as a general statement. What do you think about all of a sudden it's the plethora of men in this world, not just the United States, right? Uh, and preferably black men. I don't really
Mhm.
know the numbers on the other nationalities. Um, wanting from famous people, Puffy Combs, and just men in general that has the desire to all of a sudden want to be with a man. Where do you think that's coming from?
It's not new. It's just we didn't have the internet. 1992 to 1994, my job was to interview people who were come before they came in and got an HIV test. And there was so many bisexual men from Philly, my head was spinning. And of course it was confidential and I wasn't allowed to share their information.
Yeah.
But there's a line going out there picking up condoms. They're asking our questionnaire. Do you engage with? And these are regular dudes. People are doing what they always been doing. They've been keeping it on the low. But
Okay.
in the age of the internet and social media, you got people telling business. You got things, information passing faster. So it just seems like it's a lot more now because
Okay.
there's more people talking about it. And as far as what people are doing, what they want to do, here's my only issue with that. I don't care if you're gay, bisexual, straight. That is none of my business. I
Right.
don't give a fuck. I'm not a Republican. Only
Right.
Republicans give a shit about that. You
Right.
want to bend each other over? Fine, that is your business. Do what makes you happy. I'm
Right.
over here
Privacy of
clapping.
your own in your own, privacy of your own home, living your life.
Privacy of your
That's
own
what you want to
home.
do.
We
Right.
yeah.
People have the
Now,
right to
but
choose what they want to do, who they want to be with. Right.
my personal issue is when you are doing it and you're hurting women by keeping it a secret and you're on the
Yeah.
down low.
Right.
I don't like you motherfuckers
Right.
because you're hurting these women. You over there telling me I'm going to play 2K with your homie and you got balls in your fucking mouth. And then she finds out because she done went through your phone and she seen your sex tape and now she's so fucked up that she has to go out into the world and heaven help the next man she gets into.
So that, but you saying that, and that's the other part of it is like, okay, so if like using Sean Puffy Combs for example, if you are like, first of all, dude, you're famous. So how much longer did you think somebody wasn't going to start talking about you being with dudes and stuff, right? So if that's the case, right, Sean Puffy Combs, he is who he is. Why not just come out and say I'm bisexual?
Because
Nobody's
he
gonna look at you.
he
That's
he,
nobody's gonna
he
look at you any. I mean, you're still Sean Puffy Combs. Nothing is gonna change in regards to who you are, as far
you
as music.
you're trying to use logic and stupid niggerosity rule. That's not how it works. If you know, you can't be running around talking about I'm bisexual in the hip hop community. That don't work
Okay.
that way. They don't work that way. You think album sales is trash now? Good luck with that. You know what I mean?
So
It
it's
don't
so
work
it's
that way.
so it's so it's us. It's the hip hop community that's not gonna accept that.
It's 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 the hip hop community, and it's a lot of the fake macho man, homophobic society. We got people who don't know much about hip hop talking about no Diddy.
Mhm.
Think about it like this: there, Puffy, Puff Diddy, or whatever the fuck, he got more flack for his man on man stuff than the fact that what he's done to women.
Right. That's what I
That
see.
tells you that gives you an idea of where our men's heads are at.
But it's because I feel like it's because he is trying so hard to not let people know that he's bisexual.
And that is fine because like I've heard a bunch of these famous reporters, the Wendy Williams types, the
Mhm.
Paris Hiltons and all them, not Paris,
Mhm.
the little
Parents,
gay Hispanic boy.
yeah.
Um, they would get a cease and desist order
Hmm.
sent to them, served to them from a lawyer. Said, "Are you prepared to be sued for $10 million for defamation? Prove that I'm gay. If you can't prove it, shut the fuck up."
Hmm.
And we've been hearing that forever. I've heard Wendy Williams talk about that when all the trainees kept coming out saying that they were with Diddy.
Hmm.
You know, so but in regards to Busta Rhymes, I'd say that's between him and his wife. I was
Right.
disappointed
I was.
because if that's he's in the nation of gods and earths, he's God body, right?
Hmm.
I've met Busta Rhymes once back during the Leaders in New School days when I went to a law school in Mecca back up in Harlem, and we traveled up there to make a pilgrimage because I was in the nation at the time,
Hmm.
you know, and no one, of course, would think of him being that guy.
Hmm.
And as far as we know, this still could be a rumor,
Hmm.
but I'm my eyes is open.
Right.
I'm to the point where I have enough experience with my lesbian friends, the gay people I know in my life, to say that you can't judge people based off of what you think.
Hmm. Hmm.
And y'all heard me say, if you've been listening to the show for the last 7 years, I say it all the time. We as Americans tend to idol worship on the low.
Yep.
Fandom can easily turn to idol worship.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
we're fans, we get so invested. You don't know these people.
Right. Right. People up, but that's the part that kills me. Up on social media talking Jaguar. She said that she believed she just the shit that she said about Busta Rhymes. I just was like, okay.
But here's the thing.
Mid sentence, I just cut her off. Like I'm like, soon as she come,
Yeah,
like, why
because
are you coming across my timeline, man? Ah,
yeah, but again, here's the thing. She said something about Busta Rhymes, and then we got four other people who cooperated. There's an engineer out there running around who engineered for the Roots back in the day, and then he did Busta Rhymes back in the day. That's the connection because she was a part of the Roots crew, right? She said shits about them, and everything she said turned out to be true. Like,
that
why
we
when
that,
Malik B
that we
died,
know of.
that well,
Just
when
said we
we
don't know them. We don't know
yeah,
them.
we don't know, but when family members who are saying, "Hey, we did not get any help from Quest and this when we buried our brother because one of them passed away. He was on drugs, and that's the one she was closest to." And she was saying, her speaking, listen, I experienced when I went to them and tried to get them to do this and this, they had a fallback move because they were looking at their Jimmy Kimmel money. Not Jimmy Kimmel, who the other boy?
Let's
Um,
just say Jimmy
the
Kimmel.
other Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy
Yeah,
Fallon, I get my Jimmy's mixed up. They were
yeah.
looking at their Jimmy Fallon money and they were looking at that network gig. They didn't give a fuck about their brother who was struggling on drugs.
Mm.
And guess what? When the whole family comes out and the neighborhood they all grew up in comes out and say it, what are you supposed to believe? Does that take away from Questlove being one of the greatest musical minds of our generation and Black Thought being one of the greatest lyricists to ever come out of Philly? Fuck no. I still am going to be a fan, but I can separate the human beings from the fandom. I
Right.
listened to an R. Kelly song yesterday for the first time in a long time.
I listen to R. Kelly and I listen to Sean Puffy Combs. I will always listen to them. Their
Yeah,
personal lives and their legal stuff and bad decisions they
yeah,
make does not take away from the great music that they've made throughout the years
yeah.
and
Because
the mark that they put on hip hop. Hip hop would not. Do I need to remind people? Back when Bad Boy hit the scene, that catapulted. Okay, it, when he said, and when Lil Kim said, "We won't stop. We're gonna make." And here's another one. Biggie used to say it was non-stop for a minute for a number of years. They
yeah,
put so that history. I'm a part of that history. That what they've done for hip hop. R. Kelly at the same time, it was just a era that was nonstop, and it's sad to see that all their legacies being tarnished the way it is because of their bad decisions and
hmm
trifleness.
Yeah,
triflingness,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
that that
But
that you
even
had all of this, both of them, and it's going to be no more.
listen, shitty people have always been in the entertainment business.
Yep.
Marvin Gaye, who has a lot of ties to here, a lot of ties here in Philly. I got old heads who hung out with him, drunk wine and shit like that in West Philly with him. Pictures and him coming over for Sunday dinner.
Mm.
He was into young girls. That's why they were calling R. Kelly at one point the modern day Marvin Gaye. So that shit's gonna always be around, right? There's always going to be in American culture, whether it's pop culture, hip hop culture, rock and roll, whatever, the cyber world, whatever. Donald Trump is flying around today in Jeffrey Epstein's jet.
Yeah. See.
Let that sink in.
Oh.
This is a guy who's mentioned in several lawsuits and indictments. Uh, he's being sued by a young girl who was 17 at the goddamn time. Jeffrey Epstein and the chick that Donald Trump claims he didn't know was finding girls at Mar-a-Lago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this shit is always going to be around. This is why it's so important to vote and get Kamala Harris in there, because there's lawsuits and there are federal charges waiting. They're not going to push on him because he's in the middle of election.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The ones that got out, they got out. But
And
there's
I
more coming.
said, people don't know if you don't really follow, if you sit up on social media and you don't really understand politics and things and how it works, if a civics class will get it popping for you. You can take it online, whatever, to know how the
Hell
government
yeah.
works, right? The
Yeah.
reason why Kamala Harris sounds like a robot, we're gonna say this because that's another show, and she's saying about the border and what she would do and all that, is because her saying, okay, well, as the president, I'm going to do this and do that. It takes away the loyalty and the respect of her boss, who's presently still her boss, the president
Mm-hmm.
of the United States. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
but when she becomes the president, them talking points are out the window.
Mm-hmm.
When she
And you see
becomes
what
the president, I guarantee you, y'all gonna be like, we tired of hearing from this motherfucker here. Every time I turn around, she over here talking about this and that or whatever, because she's running the country.
yeah.
But if she
And
speak on it now, that means she's admitting that that Biden's whatever they did was wrong, or whatever, her boss didn't do the right thing. So this is how she's gonna fix it. You
and
got
so
you
you know
got
what?
and she's not gonna do that. She's not gonna.
I'm
She's too loyal, and she has too much as she should. So you're gonna get the same story. She sound like, and she got it down to a science. And after she's elected the president of these here United States, we're gonna see.
and it is the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I was saving this for when our next couple of shows going to be about the vote and politics
Okay.
and all that stuff. But since we're here,
Mm.
there is a narrative that once upon a time I would have expected it just to be Fox, but it's not just Fox. It's ABC, it's
Mm.
MSNBC, it's
Mm.
CNN. They're all doing it. By you saying this, saying X, Y, and Z, Miss Harris, are you admitting that Joe Biden didn't do it right?
That's right. Exactly.
And that is the most ridiculous. This, if you ever, if you understand politics and basic civics,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and you hear this kind of stuff, you scratch your head and go, "Wow, you guys are purposely trying to
Mm-hmm.
create a story just to sell ad time."
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
if I am second, because let's be honest, the vice president isn't second in charge of nothing.
Right. Exactly.
The chief of staff is second in charge. Some will argue that for real, the chief of staff that serves the president is really the goddamn person running shit, because his job is to go facilitate the shit that the president wants done.
That's
His
right.
job is to keep the president on task, make sure
Hmm.
he's where he's supposed to be, make sure he's talking about what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know who covered that really well? Scandal. They covered the chief of staff position very well because the majority of that show is surrounded by the chief of staff of the president.
What show was that?
Scandal with Olivia
Oh,
Pope and all
Scandal.
that.
Scandal. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Scandal.
you
Yep.
know, it's far fetched as all hell, but they cover what a chief of staff does very well. The vice
Hmm.
president position is a ceremonial position. The president has to assign them stuff to do. Like,
Hmm.
for instance, Joe Biden under Barack Obama, what Obama did is he respected Joe Biden's experience level so much that he gave him a lot of leeway to be in sitting, and he took Biden's advice on a lot of stuff. They decided
Right.
things together
Right.
because Biden has been around for forever and a fucking day.
Right. Yep.
But
Yep.
he put him in
And
charge
he wasn't
of
doing a whole bunch of. I don't remember not one vice president sitting up there doing a bunch of interviews.
no, he could exactly.
I had
But
to go back
he
in my memory. I was like, wait, we ain't hear from Gore. We ain't hear from
well, Dick Cheney did a lot. Dick Cheney had him beat. We couldn't shut Dick Cheney the fuck up.
oh
He
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
because remember he was the one secretly running the White House.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, and remember Biden spearheaded the cancer research because it was near and dear to his heart because his son.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So just like Biden had Kamala Harris doing the research into the border. Why is there so many people coming over? Now, this is what Fox News and the Republicans to tell you she was the border czar.
Hmm.
No, her job was to figure out what's going on in other countries that's making them head this way.
Right. Yep. Yep. Yep.
How can you plug if your
And
pipe
she was
busts
a.
in your
She did the stuff. She did that as the attorney general over there on in California. So it wasn't when you hear her talk about it. This is a person that dealt with the border before. She was on a border. California's a border of the country, right? So her being, when she become VP, that's not verbiage or practices that she doesn't. She's not already familiar with.
yeah, it's a
So
it's a different function when you're attorney general of California. Like she said the other day, it's the fifth largest economy in the world. Silicon Valley is coming out of there. Her job was to deal with shit coming on our side. As
mhm,
VP, Biden tasked her to find out what's going on the shit on the other side so we know how to address the issue.
right,
Solve the
right.
problem at the root, not just sitting
Just
here.
throw up a wall and think that that's gonna keep people out. You don't
Fuck
know,
no.
but you put that wall up, they will dig a hole under there and make tunnels under the ground.
Hell yeah.
They coming over. You got to get to the root of the problem in the first place. How can we keep this, from people just coming over here the wrong way? You're gonna always have a few, but if it's something that you invest in, that's the one thing I feel like she's gonna take and get control of when she becomes president because it is out of control. You know.
Well, what needs to happen is an education on the American people so they can view this properly. There's too many Americans who don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to certain stuff. And they're listening to Fox News. They're listening to fake posts on social media. We're sharing shit on our pages and in our chats and our
Mm.
groups. And it'd be dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
Dead ass wrong information. We're not looking at any sources. Oh, it looks good, looks official. Let me share it. No, the person that created it is some asshole in his basement who watches Fox News all day.
Or they're not even in this country.
Yeah, that's the
It
other
starts with
thing.
that. They're not even. I said, man, America, these other countries, how you do we infiltrate other people's countries and they elections? I
Yes,
never
we
heard of
do.
it. We do?
Yes, we do.
Okay, I
Yes,
was
we
just
do.
about to say because why they over here messing with us every time, and then you got people who don't pay attention to politics until it's election year.
Yeah.
You have got to. This dude that's coming up, Colin, the senator for Texas, is about to be a Democrat. You have got to pay attention to politics all year long. There's elections going on aside from the presidential election. Your senators,
Mm.
your governors. You have got to get. This governor of Texas has got to go. It, it
The governor of Texas should him and y'all attorney general should both been arrested by now. But we have a weak ass attorney general, Merrick Garland, who's a feckless, spineless, gutless coward. The governor of Texas and the attorney general have both defied a Supreme Court order to take the barbed wires off the buoy. Y'all sitting there blocking the goddamn. Think about it. Border control for I don't know how long couldn't get to their post because the state uh, National Guard is blocking. They got fences up, not letting the federal agents in on their job.
And they need to be, and that's because the governor of he should have been. Yeah, they should have been had his tail. And this the Garland should have been went on ahead and been a Supreme Court justice. He had no business
Yeah,
being the attorney general.
yeah, that
He
was
not gangster enough, you know.
exactly. That is one of the biggest mistakes. And I understood why Biden picked him because after Bill Barr and after that other redneck that they had in there, the Department of Justice um, has been dysfunctional. So they needed somebody with an organized mind who was going to be fair and balanced, like a judge. I
Yeah.
understood that. But in this, we needed somebody with some fucking teeth because by him waiting a whole year and a half to pull the trigger on Trump, the evidence that they put on the table in all of the federal Trump cases is not shit that they just picked up. It's shit that they had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they drug their feet trying to decide if they want to do it or not. So now he's supposed to have been tried and in jail by now.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because he could have been, it was hard to remove him off the ballot because remember, the word was he was involved in an insurrection. He should be taken off the ballot in all 50 states. Well, you
Right.
can't do that because he hasn't been found guilty of anything yet.
And that's because he dragging his feet with bringing this shit to the.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
would have been a Nikki Haley versus Kamala Harris by now,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that would have been a fight.
Sure enough. Sure enough. Two women, history. So anyway, we're
Yeah.
gonna get it. We're gonna get into that on our next show. When the next time we got a series of shows that's coming out, a Shoebox Talk on HubNet Online network, and this has been a really good conversation. I hope there's some people. We got anybody in the groups or any comments that we need to address before we get out of here?
Nope. I just see a bunch of people who are watching.
Okay.
No one said anything.
Okay, well, we're going to keep the conversation going in Shoebox Talk, as well as on HubNet Online Radio. And thanks to Darius, my producer, and all of y'all listening. We do have sponsors. We definitely want to shout out CJ over at Sapphire uh, uh, Home Improvement Company. CJ is pretty as usual, getting the job done. He is building literally the dude has a company that can build a whole house. He's getting into home, actual custom home building. And it's just to see this company doing such good work and seeing them blow up and explode this way. I'm glad we are part of it. They are definitely sponsors of HubNet Online Radio and Shoebox Talk. So if you got something, and it's all over the United States, not just in Texas. If you got something that you need done, you need an estimate, you need somebody to come fix something, or whatever the case may be, reach out to CJ at 210 area code 983-6956. And that's CJ. That's his business line or whatever. Um, the last thing is we are in the process of opening up a beauty supply store. A beauty supply store is about to be grand opening should be hopefully Black Friday, if not definitely by Christmas. We got some things going on. Black owned beauty supply store here in Texas. Um, more information will be coming soon on our platforms, but we're excited about that as well to be able to bring products to the people that that use the products that is black owned. So I am looking for black owned uh, uh, owners that have hair care products and products to be able to showcase. This is a brick and mortar. It will have a website attached to it, but this is a brick and mortar here in Texas. I need your information so I can get your products and showcase them in the store. So that being said, we appreciate everybody listening. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace, y'all.